Door. Share a little bit more about what are those differences between the two new SKUs and then the classic version?
Sure, Henry. So, first of all, let me talk a little bit about Azure Front Door. Azure Front Door is Microsoft's modern CDN solution that provides fast, reliable, and secure access between your users and your application static or dynamic web content across the globe. Uh, it delivers your content using a global edge network with hundreds of global and local POPs distributed around the world, close to both your enterprise and consumer end users. A few years back, we launched something called as Azure Front Door Classic, and now recently we have launched two new SKUs: Azure Front Door Standard and Premium. Basically, Azure Front Door Standard and Premium tier combines the capabilities of Azure Front Door Classic SKU, as well as we had some other offerings called as Azure CDN Standard from Microsoft, and web application firewall capabilities into a single secure cloud CDN platform with intelligent threat protection. The thing I want to highlight here is it focuses a lot on security and threat protection aspects, especially in our premium SKU, where we focus on offerings like private link integration, web application firewalls, bot protection, etc.
Great, thanks, Akil. And just to follow up on that, you mentioned there being other CDN services that we offer. So common question that we get from customers is with these different offerings, how do I choose among these different CDN services, and what kind of criteria should I consider? So Jesse, would you be able to share some insights on that, on guiding customers on choosing amongst the various services?
Sure, sure. Thanks, Henry. So now, as you probably know that we have a rich portfolio. For example, we have the new Era Front Door, we have the Front Door Classic and Microsoft CDN Classic, and also the partner CDN offerings, which are Ashcast CDN and also Akamai CDN. So among all of this, the new Front Door and Front Door Classic and Microsoft Team Classic, these are the Microsoft native platforms. So I think first of all, I want to chat a little bit about how to choose between the native platform and the partner CDN offerings. When you wanted to think about our CDN or Front Door, first of all, think about the scenario you want to deliver using our Front Door CDN. So let's say if you're using media streaming, if you're a media streaming customer, then we'd encourage you to use Ashcast CDN offering for now. And another thing to think about is I think this is more about functionality. For example, the biggest feature you want, if you wanted to have cache preload as a feature to push contents to your origin, to reduce the to push content to the CDN Edge pops, to reduce the overload on your origin when there's a product launch or any event like a product launch with predictable contents or spike traffic, then you should consider. And if that is a hard requirement, you should consider the Ashcast CDN. So these are the two major scenarios you should think about partner CDN. Otherwise, we would encourage you to select the native platform, especially when your origin is hosted on Azure. And like we said, like Akil mentioned, we now have the new Era Front Door service, and which is a combination of the classic Front Door and CDN, and also WAF. So we'd encourage you, if you want to choose the native platform, to use the new Era Front Door. Well, if a new customer, but if you are an existing classic offering customer, you can continue to use those. But all the new features will come to the new Era Front Door. And the classic offerings will continue to serve you until we announce the migration tool we are working on to migrate from the classic offering to the new Front Door. The tool is now under development, and we will announce GA once it's ready. And after that, we will announce the retirement of the classic offering. But no, don't worry. There will be we will have sufficient time for you to migrate from the classic to the new front door. So yeah, that's it. I think that's the to summarize. First of all, to choose between the Azure Microsoft native platform and partner CDN, you think about the scenario. If you're a streaming customer and if you have a cache preload requirements, then go to the partner CDN. Otherwise, go to the native platform. And when choosing among native platform, go to the new front door. And we'll talk about the new capabilities with the new front door soon. Thanks, Henry.
Great, thanks Jesse for sharing the details about the migration path as well as the different criteria for choosing among those services. So we've asked the first question to you, Daniel. So can you describe how I can integrate the new Azure Front Door SKUs with private VNET series services? Sorry.
Yes. So for the new front door, we have the SKU called Premium on the Azure front door. And what happens is we have a full set of security capabilities of WAF, as well as the capability to use private link. And with this capability, what brings to you is usually when you expose a service through front door, what happens is usually the origin is a public endpoint in most of the scenarios. And what happens is with the private link option, you pretty much like the connectivity between the front door and the orange, it's fully private, which means you don't need to expose your workload that is sitting in Azure with a public IP, because you can leverage that functionality of the private link and privately from front door consume those services, either a web app, SQL, if you have your own workload, like behind a standard load balancer, like in running an ISVM, you can leverage the private link and have that fully access, private access from front door to that orange.
Great, thanks, Daniel. Another question as well for you, Akil. So you mentioned previously with the new Azure Front, there are the two SKUs, standard and premium. Can you talk a little bit about what are the differences between those two and how I would choose between the two tiers?
Sorry, I was on mute. So I think the primary difference between standard and premium SKUs, I would say the aspects which are different. They are related to security. So premium SKU provides much more in terms of security. As Daniel mentioned, private link is one of the important feature which differentiates standard and premium SKUs. It is only available in premium SKU. Along with that, as I mentioned earlier, there are many web application firewall functionalities like bot protection, CRS, some CRS rule implementations. Those features are only available in premium SKU. So I would say that if you want to summarize standard and difference between standard and premium SKUs, the premium SKU is much secure. So if security is one of the facts for your web application, I would recommend to go with premium SKU.
Great, thanks, Akil. And another question that just popped up, and Jesse, this kind of relates to what you mentioned earlier about what are some of the unique capabilities that Azure Front Door offers. So what's new about this Azure Front Door versus existing the classic version?
Okay, thanks, Henry. So that's a good question, actually. So first of all, like I mentioned, all the new features will land on the new front door. All the new features on the roadmap, and please stay tuned for that uh, in the near future. And also, this new front door comes with a lot of new capabilities. Like first of all, we offer built-in reports, which is built in for free for you to have a like a single pane of glass for the CDN usage and your security patterns, and also we provide health probe logs which help you to monitor and better debug the origin issues. And also there are more log views and monitoring metrics comes with the new front door. So this first thing. And the second of all is like Q mentioned, and also Daniel mentioned that private link. This is a hero scenario that comes with the new front door and is very popular among our customers. If you want to secure origin from public accessibility, that is this is definitely the offering or the CDN that you can choose. And the other one is the also about the security. Is we I think WAF. First of all, bot manager goes GA with the new front door release, and also there's some enhancement to the WAF with improved security postures with the new rule set DRS 2.0, and also it includes uh, the latest Microsoft proprietary rules authored by Microsoft Threat Intelligence, and also it offers anomaly scoring, which drastically helps reduce the false positives for your apps. And then it also do some XML and also JSON content inspection. And so there are lots of and it also WAF engine also comes with lots of improvements. So go ahead and try it. And then I think there's another hero scenario that this new offering, this new Azure Front Door unlocks is it offers a simplified and predictable pricing. Um, because we receive some feedbacks about like being charged for the WAF rules or for the rules engine rules, and now you don't have to pay for those. Uh, Everything has been included or have been simplified into base fees, egress, ingress, and also the RPS requests. So it's a simplified and transparent billing. And also the let's say the fifth enhancement is the rules engine enhancement. So now we support regex, and also we support regular expression, and also the server variables, which can help you to bring some your custom logic into our front door. So that's the fifth one. And also, uh, along with this new front door, we also like do a more or deeper outer integrations. For example, we now integrated with our advisor for your certificate expiration or expiring or expired certificates, so that you can take proper actions in time to prevent service downtime. And also, we integrated our policy to help you enforce some security policies, like you can enforce to use minimum TLS 1.2 instead of the lower versions which are unsecure. Um, and also we integrate our key vault and our DNS to streamline the whole provision and management experience. And also the integration with Terraform, with full stack Terraform integration will come soon. Yeah, so that's all. And to summarize, this new front door has a lot of improvements in function, in security, in pricing, and also Azure integration. And there will be more features coming up. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Jesse. Yeah, a lot of great new features and enhancements. And as you just a reminder that these features will only be available on the new version of the Azure Front Door. So definitely encourage everyone to try it out, and as well as stay tuned for the migration tooling that will be available coming soon. Another question. Before I jump to the next question, I did want to ask this one of Daniel around, since you work really closely with customers, on a daily basis, what are some of the top use cases or scenarios that you've seen with customers that are using Azure Front Door?
Yeah, so pretty much like we usually I would say three categories of use cases that we need to break down that really customers get benefit from the front door. So the first one is content delivery, content acceleration. So where customers they can scale the applications easily. Because if you think about one example, and when I have a single application deployed in a single region, so when the users, for example, if I have a global presence, all my users they have to go to the edge, because that's how the Microsoft network, global network is laid out. So they get to the edge before they hit they can, for example, if I have my application deployed in East US 2, so users that are in West US, they are going to go all the way to the continent, to US continent, in order to reach that East US application. So what front door brings in that content delivery scenario and acceleration is now we're going to add the component of front door right at the edge. And those users, they have like global presence, they can get the benefit right away, because instead of I'm hitting the application that's located in that single location of EastOS, now I can hit the front door, and the front door can help with the to serve the connections right at the edge, because the edge is closer to the user, as well as another big component for front door is caching. So which means the user experience to retrieve that content, even if I have a single application deployed in a single region, is going to be much more performatic compared to accessing that single application. The second scenario that's common is which front door brings is scenarios of business continuity and disaster recovery, where in the same scenario that I gave you, where I have a single application, customers obviously when they are doing applications provisions in Azure, they're going to pick one region for failover, and that's where front door can help too. So if I have now an application East US, I can deploy my other Orange in West US, and I can have front door to do my backend health check. So which means it's going to help me in case one application is down. It's going to fail over that connectivity through to the available workload. And you have like other possibilities as well inside front door, like you can like create applications that are provisioned in multiple regions, and you can also make them active access. For example, I can probably leave my backend, my workload that's in West West serving more the West Coast users, and the East Coast users more the one that I provision in the East US. So front door also can help you with some rules, give you priority and balance that traffic in the failover, like I explained. In the third category, I think what customers really look for is the security component, which front door brings, because now we have because front door is provisioned right at the edge, closer to the user. Imagine that when you have some kind of attack happening against the application, level DDoS, for example, I don't need to do any security managements at the orange. In this case, front door with the AF component at the top is going to be able to detect the well-known attacks using the OWASP standard, as well as customers they can create like custom rules, or a rate limit, or based on connection strings. So they have a lot of capabilities to block that malicious traffic right at the edge, even before hitting uh, the orange. And in the new case scenario that I explained earlier, is which is they looking at the new platform, is exactly that possibility to, because in the classical CDN, which front doors bring to the table, is we do have Orange, which usually is exposed to a public IP. In this case, with the private link in the new front door premium SKU, I can now you have my orange fully protected using any leverage private link from the front door to access that orange.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Daniel, for sharing those great use cases. And a question that came up around the simplified integration with with app services with this new Azure Front Door. I think one of the great thing about the new Azure Front Door is the native integration with other Azure services. So maybe Akil, can you share a little bit more about what that integration looks like and how customers can take advantage of that?
Yeah, so I can answer that, and I would like Jesse to chime in that too. But basically, if you create front door currently from the portal, you can easily observe that orange side we have seamless integration with most of the Azure services like static web app storage and so on. As Daniel explained, basically we have in premium SKUs we have also introduced integration with services like private link, which provide much higher functionality than just seamless integration in terms of security, privacy, and threat protection. So I would recommend to, and I'll post the link too, but I would recommend to basically check out the origin for all the services which you can use from backend side in terms of seamless integration with Azure Front Door. Jesse, feel free to chime in if I missed something.
Thanks, Akil, for summarizing those. And I want to bring out a hero scenario that we integrated with an Azure service, which is the static web app. Uh, if you are a static web app user or you plan to use that service, it has been like fully integrated with or seamless integrated with the new Azure Front Door. So there are three like deep integration that this integration or three capabilities this integration brings in, which is first one is it's easy enablement. So if you go to static web app and you wanted to spin up AFD, it's just a button away. So it's under the enterprise grade Ash. So you can just go there and enable that. And with this one click enablement, it can help you reduce the the latency by 90%. So this is the acceleration or performance improvement. And also we're working on another hero scenario, which is to if you have a custom domain that is validate your ownership on the static web app with the new Air Vendor integration. When you enable this, you don't have to, or if you want to bring that domain onto AFD, you don't have to go through the domain validation again. So we call it pre-validation support. So that is the three scenarios we unblock. One is easy enablement. The other one is performance acceleration. The other one is reuse your custom domain. So this is one hero scenario that AFD has deeply or seamless integrated with an Azure service. And we're working on a lot of more services like this. And like Akil mentioned, we're also working on the integration on the web app or app service blade for this integration. Yeah. So stay tuned for that and check out the integration with Static Web App.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Akil and Jesse, for sharing. And I think on top of the integrations, one of the unique things about Azure Front Door is that it leverages the massive scale of Microsoft's global network. So Daniel, can you maybe talk a little bit about how leveraging the global network can really benefit either performance or scalability of applications that are using Azure Front Door? And just give a quick overview would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Microsoft Global Network is, so today we have over 198 edge locations. In the model, it's to be really simple. users, before they hit the workloads in the region, they always have to go through the edge, like I explained before. And the biggest benefit of having front door right at the edge is because the edge is closer to the user, which means we can provide better connectivity for those users with low latency, which means we can accommodate more users coming from that edge location. We have this global presence, which we have more than 198 edge locations, and we have a fully more than 175k miles of fiber across the globe, fully managed by Microsoft, which they can leverage and get benefit with the low latency to access the regions.
Okay, great, Daniel. So yeah, I know we're out of time, so really appreciate and thanks everyone for joining, and thank you, Akil, Daniel, and Jesse for joining this event and answering all the questions. If you want to learn more, head to the link below to learn more, and then see what's coming up next. Thanks everyone for attending.
Thanks, everyone.